Welcome to the Fantasy Throwdown Podcast, bringing you the latest updates from the world of sports, gambling, and pop culture. Because you can't have a show without hot takes or a Tiger King meme these days. Know what I'm saying? Now, with over 200 episodes and ready to get after it again, here's your host, Dwayne Callender.
All right, folks. Got a brief show just covering Game 5 of the NBA Finals. Obviously, we saw the Suns implode in Game 4, having a big lead and letting it completely slip away. The Bucks evened up the series to make it 2-2, heading into a pivotal Game 5. Obviously, the winner of this series is one game away from winning the NBA championship. The winner of Game 5 is usually in NBA history with the series tied at 2-2. They win 80% of the time. So needless to say, it is a big matchup. Suns are favored by 4. Overall, total is at 219, so more scoring to be expected in this series. It's been a lot of offense, driven by runs, like who can get on a run. I mean, the Suns were in blowout, like they were lined up for a blowout 2 games in a row and managed to give away both games. It's very interesting in my opinion, seeing how the Suns respond, because to me, if the Suns play the way they have in the first half, they're going to be up double digits again on this Bucks team. I just think the Suns have to play their game and feed Ayton the ball. Like, Ayton did not have a good offensive game in Game 4, and they were up big because guess what? Ayton drew so much attention that Devin Booker was able to get into a rhythm and hit his shots. CP3 had a terrible game. You had a terrible offensive game from Ayton, a terrible game from CP3. Devin Booker had his 40-plus points, but not much else because he was just kind of getting offense for himself. And yet still, it took a tremendous comeback from the Bucks to win the game on the heels of Giannis just, again, smurfing on everyone. See, I'm learning the terms for the kids, smurfing. But just dominating because no one on the Suns really matches up well against Giannis. And physically, the knee is healthy, so he's just going after it. So, to me, Giannis is still going to be the play here from a fantasy perspective, but I think the Suns are still in great position to blow out this Bucks team. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep saying it. I think the Suns are the better team. My whole feeling about this, looking through the numbers, is, again, the Suns have been ahead consistently throughout the course of this series. The bottom line is they've been ahead more minutes of this series than the Bucks. The Bucks have actually, I mean, in terms of a percentage, you're looking at the Suns being ahead of this in terms of overall minutes in the series by a 70 to 30% margin. Like the Suns have been ahead consistently. So again, I know the series is tied up, but the numbers just lean more towards the Suns. I'm sorry. So I have to see more out of the Bucks for me to actually believe they can win this series. Because to me, this is more about the Suns cleaning up simpler mistakes than it is about the Bucks finding a way of winning this series. So to me, this really comes down to who on the Suns is going to get their offense. And my opinion, this leans more towards a DeAndre Ayton type of game. So I think the Suns get Ayton involved early and often. Ayton stays out of foul trouble. I mean, we saw the nonsense with Devin Booker the other night. I think Booker is not a great play tonight because I think the refs are going to be looking at Booker, knowing how many fouls he got away with last game. Even though he was in foul trouble, Booker should have fouled out of that game multiple times. Like, Booker was just reckless with his decision-making. And so I think they're going to call the game even tighter on him tonight. So I really think Booker's got to be careful with how he's used it in his offensive game. And I think they could even call some offensive fouls on it because I thought he got away with some offensive fouls last game. So to me, this leans more towards, playing a conservative style, being more conscientious of how he's going to go about managing his minutes. But at the end of the day, I look at this as more of a case that, DeAndre Ayton's going to eat tonight. I really like the Suns to win this game outright. So for me, on a DFS perspective, DraftKings, I'm leaning more towards Ayton in the captain. And on FanDuel in the MVP spot. To me, it's an Ayton type of night. Pricing wise, it's gotten easier for fitting in Chris Paul. So to me, I'm liking Chris Paul. I'm going to be playing Cam Johnson. He's just too damn cheap, in my opinion. It just makes too much sense. I just look at it as a case where you're gonna get your fill of Giannis tonight, scoring points, yes. But I think the Suns win this game, and I think the Suns will win this game by double digits. I really think this is a case where you could see you really could see a scenario where Giannis scores 35 points and his team loses by 15. I really think that's a legitimate reality tonight because I think the Suns play much better. The bench should play better at home, and I think at the end of the day, it makes more sense. I just think that there's I just think that this there makes a lot more sense to it makes a lot more sense to play the Suns tonight. I think this is tailor made for a Suns blowout. So, like I said, I like DeAndre Ayton. I think Chris Paul plays a lot better. I'm not big on Devin Booker tonight. To me, I think he's going to get more targeted. So to me, on DraftKings, my focus is on finding ways of fitting in Giannis in a utility spot, Ayton as the captain, and Chris Paul, and then you can put in Cam Johnson, and then you can start mixing and matching as you see fit. But that's the way I'm leaning towards with my builds tonight. I think it's pretty straightforward, in my opinion, how this game should go. So I'm not going to overthink it. That's just the way I'm leaning towards. And yeah, so that's what I call on the slate. And if you really want to play Giannis tonight, I think you can still play Giannis in the captain and just have 5 Suns. I think that's a viable build as well. If you think if you agree with me that the Suns can win this game, but Giannis is going to have a monster night regardless because no one can guard him, you can play Giannis in the captain and play 5 Suns. That's entirely up to you how you want to handle it, but I think that's also a viable strategy. So I'll leave it at that, and good luck, everyone, and we'll see how the game goes. Have a good one. Oh, actually, one thing I should say before I go is that because we're getting later in the series, you're going to see more guys get fewer minutes. So guys who should be very suspect in terms of minutes playing forward, Brook Lopez has been phased out of this series, so I'm very hesitant on guys like that. Even PJ Tucker, he's going to play minutes, but he's been playing fewer minutes as the series has gone on. So, and losing some time to Bobby Portis as well. So, I think some of the Milwaukee guys, you could very much see fluctuation. So if this game gets out of hand, don't be surprised if some guys just don't see the floor at all. So even if it gets into a blowout situation, you're not going to see a Brook Lopez. They're just going to go to Giannis's little brother. I mean, or maybe he's older. I can't remember. But Thanasis could see playing time. A Nawara could see playing time. Yeah, there are a number of guys who haven't played at all in this series that could see time in this game if it blows out, along with Jeff Teague. But I wouldn't, if this game stays close, I would not like Jeff Teague at all. Brent Forbes didn't even play last game. Those are the kind of guys who would be playing in a blowout scenario if the Suns are winning. And if somehow the Bucks are winning big, you could see those guys as well. But just want to throw that out there. But good luck, everyone, tonight. And, let's see how the game goes.
Thanks for listening to the Fantasy Throwdown Podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all other major outlets.